Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube painting process video. I'm aware that it's been quite a while since my last one because I had been working on my new book, A Day in January. You can check out all the information regarding the book at adayinjanuary.com, which you can access from the description below. There are a collection of cyberpunk stories I've written over the past year and illustrated fully with over 40 unique paintings. So it was a lot of work just getting everything compiled and just finishing all the illustrations. Anyways, onwards to the topic of discussion today. One question I've been asked numerous times is really how many hours do I paint? And inevitably, people will give varying answers depending on who they ask. And for me, I really try my best not to answer at times because I feel like it's an irrelevant measure of your work. And also, I really don't want to make people feel bad about it. As a starter, I paint around 8 hours a day, and sometimes 12 depending on the severity of the amount of work I have at the moment. This is basically a job to me, of course, so 8 hours is pretty standard, but a lot of people really get intimidated by that number. How can you draw for 8 hours a day? How can you draw for 12 hours a day? How do you have that motivation and patience? The answer is quite simple, and I've mentioned this in previous videos and on my social media as well. I don't really get motivated to draw anymore because it's such a job now that it's really not that special to me. It's something that I've treated as if I'm breathing. You don't really think about breathing or eating or drinking, you just do the activity, and art has become that sort of thing. It's not really something that people want to hear because art is supposedly a fun activity for people, a hobby, but when you start getting to the professional level, you end up having to really create art regardless of the circumstances. As you would imagine, if you don't get something done in time, then you're most likely going to be fired. And you can't just feel like you want to do something every single day. Like, ultimately, art is something that a lot of people treat as a cooling off thing, but when you're doing it for a job, you have to be always on all the time. So the indifference allows me to work the hours that I need to, but in terms of being fulfilled and having fun, that has become something that is no longer relevant. Now, I do like to draw and paint, of course, but it's not something where I'm very excited to do it anymore because I've put in so many hours, and that's something every artist has to go through. This was something that I realized as I was working on my book, just how indifferent I was when I was at some points making 3 paintings a day. I have to work for clients and then go into the book work because I have to get it done, and I told myself I want to get it done by this end of the year. And yes, it can be really hard at times, but the ultimate thing is to really avoid dealing with motivation, and you want to deal with discipline. If you've ever gone to the gym, you realize how hard it can be to just force yourself at times to wake up and go to the gym, and you know it's going to be hard and it's brutal at times to justify it. But eventually, if you do the routine enough, then you kind of just get used to it, and that's really what you want to achieve when you want to be a professional. And as harsh as it sounds, if you are looking to just have fun and draw every so often, draw your favorite stuff, then perhaps this profession might not be for you. Because I've had many cases where I had to draw stuff I really didn't like, and I had to meet deadlines I didn't like. So it's one of those things where you want to make sure that even though you might want to like art, you might start to hate it, and you need something else that will fulfill you if you are going to turn art into your job rather than just a passion. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this talk here. I'll leave the rest of the video playing. It's a painting of Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. I saw that he is going to be in Smash Brothers, and that's pretty cool, so I figured any excuse to draw Final Fantasy characters is always good for me, and I also like testing my abilities on those types of characters, given that they have such history behind it, and I'm hoping people like this piece as well. Anyways, hope you check out A Day in January, and I'll see you next time.